Hello and welcome back to another episode in the Trim series. We only have 7 requirements left to go. It's like we're very close to Trim, and some of these requirements were pretty close to being done. Like the Master of Assault, we just need to get one more roll done, so that's probably one or two 1 to 9 runs in hard mode. Master Angler, we just need to get like 20 more games at most. And the runecrafting one, we need to get like 50k more runespan points, so that's either merchant or runespanning. But we're going to start off this episode at Fishslingers. We need 17 medals and 518 tokens to go. So let's go get these final 17 medals. And about 5 Fishslinger games later, we have all the medals we need. And look at that, we clean sweep most fish, most weight, heaviest fish, and first place. And 37 fish tokens. So if we look at the rewards here, we have 503 medals, and this champion's tackle box requires 500 medals. So we have that part done. We just need the 1860 tokens, so 350-ish more. Now there is two different schools of thoughts on how to get the final tokens once you have the medals done, and I'm gonna go over it in the next two games, showing the difference between the two. And this is the first method. Basically, you go to the other side of the dock, you pick a random thing, and you just hit cast, and then you AFK. It's going to catch something every like 5 or 6 seconds, and for every 4 fish you catch, you end up getting 1 token. So you probably end up with like 20-25 tokens by the end of this. And then you just let the round end. I caught a total of 110 fish, which means I divide that by 4 and round down, and I get 27 fish tokens. So if we were to do this games-wise, we're probably going to have to do 10 to 15 of those. On the other hand, there is another method. Now, the second method is very similar, except for we're not AFKing. What we're going to be doing is just quick casting the whole time. So we do, as soon as our rod moves, we cast again. This means we'll catch more fish per minute, and if we catch more fish, that means we get more tokens per game. And then it ends, and if you quick cast the whole time, you get about 160-ish fish. The maximum you can actually get is 166 because it's a 6-tick action. But you can see we got awarded 40 fish tokens that time. So we got about 13 more tokens than we did before, but we had to pay full attention versus AFK the entire time. I think I'm going to go more AFK. And that is our last game of Fishslingers. We got 36 tokens. I kind of timed it so that we would get the almost exact number of tokens we needed. And if we claim the reward from the fishermen, we can now actually purchase the champion's tackle box, and we are done the master angler trim requirement. Boy, am I happy to be done with that. And we are just going to throw this in the bank and probably never use it again. Hard mode dunge is one of the more hated requirements, as it actually requires people to do dunge instead of relying on dailies and elite dungeons to complete the skill. But it's not too bad. I ended up completing this requirement over a 2-day stretch with a duo partner. As for tips, I have the following. Try to find a duo partner that also needs to get this done. If you are solo or duo, then the floor is only a medium, while if you are 3 to 5 people, it's a large. Mediums are just way faster, and it's going to be a medium regardless if you're by yourself, so you might as well throw that second person in there. Turn on guide mode. This cuts into the XP gain, but you'll save a lot of time. Any room that isn't on the critical path to the boss is a darker shade on the map. This lets you ignore rooms and really speeds up the hard mode dungeons. You can get 4, 5, or even 6-minute hard floors with this checked on. Past that, it's like regular dungeon, except for everything has to be killed because every door is a guardian door. Alright, that's going to be the end of our first set of dungeoneering. Derp over here is now done. All 48 floors. We've been pretty consistently getting like 4 minutes per floor, so it wasn't too bad. And there you see he's gotten all hard mode dungeoneering floors and unlocked the title of DAEMONHEIM. We started at 1 and went all the way through up to 60, skipping every floor he had already done. So these are the ones. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15 floors to go. So I'm probably just either going to do them by myself, or maybe I'll find another friend who has some floors to go, and we'll get through them doing some more like 4 minutes. So that's like an hour and a half more of dungeoneering. to get that trim requirement done. And overall requirement wise, we only got 6 left, so feels good to be that close. Okay, our first fight with Blink. Let's see how many times we're gonna die. We already got 1 death. Honestly, 2 deaths for a Blink fight. I will take that. And Primal Longswords, very good to get. So if you're looking for getting the T99 stuff, always do hard mode. And with a slightly not terrible boss fight, we got our new fastest solo floor. We got a 530-ish, what about 533 solo hard mode dungeon. I think that's pretty good. I'm averaging about like 7 to 8 minutes per, and we have three floors to go. So 20 minutes, and I'll have a nice title. And we're done. We got the Prometheum 2-hand sword. Unfortunately, not the T99 one, but we already have that one bound, and if we ever need to melee, we can. But when we end here, we are going to finish off all of hard mode dungeon, which means we have completed every single floor. And I think next, to round out the end of this episode, we are going to start on the champions. The champions are 1 in 5,000 drops, and there are a total of 11 of them. I was lucky early on in my RuneScape career because I actually got one. I got the Aberrant Spectre one in like 2007 or whatever, when I was like 15 years old or 14 years old, and I got that one. I was so hyped about it back then, and now I don't need to get it. And to make our life a little bit easier for the Champions Challenge and getting all those champ scrolls, we're gonna go ahead and make 500 aggro overload. That's over 200 hours of AFK. I don't think I'll use all of it going for it, but worst case scenario, I just have leftover aggro potions when we're all said and done. So this is our setup. We got our cannon going. And we're killing both imps and lesser demons. So hopefully we pick up the imp champion scroll first. But one thing we do need to do is we need to change our loop beam off of 1k each. Yeah, I had it at 1k for Crozius. So there, we have our loop beam set to 100,000 now, so we're not going to get nowhere near as many loop beams as we were getting here. Kind of fun to fill up the chat box like that, but it'll be hard to figure out if I actually get the scroll. So yeah, we have the potion reservoir, which is going to automatically re-drink our potion whenever it runs out. I would say the only thing we need to focus on is our prayer dropping, but I'm just going to flick on penance here, and that should be more than enough with us auto-retaliating to maintain our prayer. Okay, we didn't miss the champion scroll drop. We got our first one. This took way too many kills. Let me just pull up my rune metrics here after we teleport away. So our total kill count was 11,523. So we were like 2.5 times drop rate, thereabouts. And we also killed 4,200 imps, which means we basically got drop rate on imps as well. So I guess it's time to move on to the next one. Oh shit, Ghoul was a little bit quicker. This one only took like 45 minutes, I think. I got a whole bunch of pings, so that means I must have gotten a drop. Yeah, so yeah, this one was about 1,500. I just checked like 5 minutes ago, so yeah, probably like 1,500 KC in total. So Hill Giant's going to be the next one, and supposedly the best setup is that we stand on the east side and we let the cannon deal with the ones on the west. These guys attack with melee, so it does take a little bit of time for them to actually see me. No, we got a curve bone. That's the exact same drop rate of this champion scroll. Unfortunate. That is our second curved bone. 1 in 5,000, by the way. Another one, another curved bone. You've got to be kidding me. I think that's 4. It's either 3 or 4. But that's crazy. There it is. The Giants Champion Scroll. About a couple seconds later, we have an inventory slot, so it went into our inventory. And we didn't AFK too hard and we got it. It's been... Oh, it was about to disappear. It's been a minute and a half. I got pretty lucky there. Next up is skeletons, and this is might be the quickest one yet. It's a couple thousand kills an hour, and we can just chill here, get some nice scavenging procs, and hope for the best. And that's the skeleton champion scroll. Luckily picked it up in time. That didn't take long. That was, I don't know, I think maybe 100 kills. Let's see, scrolling up here. Yeah, so I got that about 8 minutes ago. Let's get out of here. Well, yeah, I'm okay with that. It came from one of the raid bosses that spawn there, but we can add the Goblin Champ scroll in there and move on to the next one. Next up is Earth Warriors, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them in my personal Slayer dungeon. So right now I'm just going ahead and capturing 5 of their souls. I currently have 2 of them. And with 5 of them in my Slayer dungeon, it'll be very AFK. Getting these souls is super quick. The drop rate is all of 1 in 8 or 1 in 7. So I should have all of these very shortly, and then I can just AFK in my dungeon. You can also just AFK here, but I believe it's less kills per hour just because of the giant rock in the middle. It makes it harder for them to all aggro on you when you're greater chain to go hit everything, that sort of stuff. So I do have these spiritual warriors here. But I haven't used these in almost a year now, so I don't worry about getting rid of them. I don't really AFK for GP anymore now that I have kind of all the gear I want. The monsters that are stored in here are still able to drop the scroll, and we should get a nice kill rate here. Okay, there's another one that made for a successful day today. I think we picked up 5. Yeah, we have 6 in the bank, but 5 of these I got or no, 4 of these I got today. I got Giant, Skeleton, Goblin, and Earth Warrior all in the same day. Our next scroll grind is going to be the Dried Zombie. They respawn very quickly here, and I can just plop down a cannon, toggle on my aggro potion, and next thing you know, we're going to get the scroll. The only downside is this location is kind of in the middle of nowhere. The closest is the Narda teleport, and then you run all the way down here. So I'm going to try to do longer trips here versus before I was doing oh, I have 5 minutes to burn. Let me just go teleport and get some kills. So when we're here for an hour. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I got the ding that I got a loot beam. Looked over to the screen, and it's just a stupid effigy. What are the chances of a level 67 monster dropping an effigy? It's gotta be insanely rare. There we are, the Zombie Champion Scroll. This one was probably about 7 or 8,000 kills, but we have it. Yeah, we can add it to our collection of scrolls that are in the bank, and we have, I think, 4 to go now. Guess I shouldn't have teleported away because the next spot we're going for is mummies right here. There's a spawn about 3 or 4 of them right here, and I can just kill them. I think it'll be at least 500 kills AFK. So we're looking at about 10 hours on average to get the scroll done, but hopefully it's quickly. This one mummy hides behind the rock, but eventually he pops out and my cannon will get to him. Well, I'm happy that this one is done. This was a very slow kills per hour compared to the rest of them. One big tip I'll give you is the first time you come through here, bring a rope, and then you can climb down here. So when you teleport from Narda, it's a very, very quick trip. Now for the Joker scroll, we're going to take the glider. We go to Gandius, which is the number 5 spot. And then we just need to run a little bit north until we find the broken glider, the crash glider from, I believe it's is that the Grand Tree quest? And we just plop down our cannon there, and we'll get maybe 1,000 kills an hour. Move the cannon up to the north side of the glider. Just helps it a little bit more in terms of kills, it seems. Loop beam notification went off, and that's because I got a spider egg unchecked. It must be like in Narnia over here because I can't even see it. But our cannon accidentally killed a spider, and we got an egg out of it. So one thing we do want to pick up is this Chompy Bird Enhancer for a future trim requirement. I'm not going to be doing it this episode, but this guy's here for another 27 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and hand in the medium request. And my game crashed. And we're back. I have no idea why it crashed. I don't need this Brassica, but we have a Chompy Bird Enhancer. Now, a Chompy Bird Enhancer will double the amount of kills you need, or double the amount of kills you get. So if I kill one Chompy, it'll count for 2, and it grants 50 charges. So I essentially, by completing this medium farm quest, I caught 50 Chompies. That's kind of how you can think of it. Where is this scroll? That's the hard part. I see the loop beam, or I don't see the loop beam. Right-click all these red dots and pick up our cannon. Oh, it's under the cannon. That's why I couldn't find it. But we have it in our inventory. And, yeah, that is another champion scroll. How many do we have left now to get? I think it's 2. We have the Imp and the Banshee. So I think I'm going to do the Banshee next. There's 2 different ways you can do it. One, there's a cannon way, which is kind of AFK. And then the other one is a non-canon way, but it means I have to actually pay attention. And Champion Scrolls is all about AFKing, so we're going to go ahead and do the AFK one, as long as it's not bad. The Champion Scroll in our inventory. Yes, we got it just before it despawned, I think, but we have it in our inventory, and all that's left is Imps. So for our last scroll, we're going to put down the Dwarven Siege Engine right here and fire the cannon and stand underneath it. So there are going to be imps all around here that are going to get cannoned by it, and they should one-shot it every single time. This guy seems to be in a bad spawn location, so I'm just going to go ahead and kill him. But eventually we will be able to kill all of them, and this gets us about 300 kills per hour. Which isn't ideal because it's slow as balls, but it's something. We are done. We got the Imp Champion Scroll. Luckily, we were able to find it. This one took a while. This one was like 3 full days of just AFKing there. But we're done. We have all the champions, so let's go kill all the champions, I guess. So I'm going to put on screen the total kill count for all the scrolls I got. The total kills is incorrect here because that includes everything and not just these monsters. But if we look at it, we got reasonably okay lucky. 6 of them we went over drop rate, 6 of them we went under drop rate. So not too bad. This also doesn't include the goblins because I only killed like 80 of them and it's like on the 3rd page of monsters. But yeah, it's just a little unfortunate that I went so dry on the imp, as that's the lowest kills per hour at about like 300 to 400, while something like skeletons you kill like 2 to 3,000 an hour. So going dry there isn't even that big of a deal. The actual champions fights are laughably easy. The most difficult part is navigating the interfaces and figuring out exactly what you need to bring to each fight. Once you kill all 13, you can challenge the human and gnome champion, and with them defeated, you get the trim requirement done. And it's a very easy fight because EOC exists. But we're done at the Champions Challenge. So we've defeated all the champions, gathered all the scrolls, we've killed all 13 of them. Or I guess there's 16 when you count the bonus ones. And we're done. Trim-wise, we now only have 4 requirements to go. So I'm going to end off the episode here. And next time, I'm going to be working on finishing off trim. And that's going to do it for this episode of the trim series. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like down below. It really helps push out the videos to more people. If you like the series and want to be updated when the next episode comes out when I complete trim, subscribe away and turn on notifications. But past that, have a good day, and I'll catch you in the next one.